I know why Indy Jamma Jones sells Temu skates.
Question for you. What are those?
We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
What's up, Boss Tweezy? Today on the Jam Skating News, we're covering the rise and fall of Indy Jamma Jones, aka Skate Beyonce. Indy Jamma Jones started her career on the Moxie skate team. In fact, she was one of the skaters featured in the Moxie Big Story video. So she was one of the main ones. After Moxie established their channel, Indy Jamma Jones set out on her own and created her own skate channel. Indy Jamma Jones pioneered the skate influencer playbook. Everybody's jocking her swag, word for word, bar for bar. Let's look at these videos. The timing. Learn to roller skate. This joint has like 4 million. 7 years ago. This wasn't during the 2020 boom. How to spin. Who don't got a how to spin?
It'll be just like on The Simpsons.
Who don't got a how to stop?
Uh-oh, Simpsons did it.
Who don't got a roller skate backwards?
Why didn't you tell me The Simpsons already did that?
Who don't got to skate downhill?
Simpsons did it.
How many people adopted this thumbnail style afterwards?
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
It's very rare to see somebody make a roller skating tutorial that Indy Jamma Jones didn't make 8 years ago, because it's not algorithmically valuable to make a lot of these roller skating tutorials. Indy Jamma Jones creates a community. She starts making tutorials for beginner skaters, and this starts to encourage a lot of people to come into the skate game, and eventually she becomes the entire world's fairy skate mother. I found your channel 2 weeks ago and I haven't stopped skating since. Hey Indy, unrelated to this video, but can you teach me how to break dance on skates? Wow. Missed you. You're the reason why I started roller skating.
Buy myself some skates. So in the meantime, I was excited. I wanted to learn some stuff. I wanted to be ready for when they came. So I found, obviously, Indy's channel. I fell in love with her. She was like a queen.
Falls in love.
I want to be just like you.
I found Beyonce. Skaters love Beyonce.
Really, I was just using her for like my skating Bible. So I really had a lot of respect
The
for her.
skating Bible, that is high praise. With an electric fashion, eloquent skating skills, and a charming personality, Indy Jamma Jones became a mogul of roller skating in the digital age. She was heavily associated with Moxie Skates, the most coveted brand of skates during the height of the quarantine. Her YouTube channel thrived as aspiring skaters turned to her for a comforting, inspiring guidance. She emanated a sense of coolness that every woman desired to emulate. She was destined for roller skating greatness.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
I like to think about Indy Jamma Jones's fall a little bit like a frog boiling in a pot. By the time the frog notices that the water is too hot, it's too late. Well, when most people see the fall of Indy Jamma Jones, the moment that stands out is Planet Roller Skate Gate. By this time, the Planet Roller Skate group had grown from a social media page and a YouTube concept to a full-blown business that was connected to what is now Pigeon's roller skate shop. So bam. Generally, people would post different skate clips and they would also talk about different problems that were affecting them in the group. But shortly after George Floyd's murder in late May, the group went off the rails. A Black community member posted in the group looking for support and recounted a recent experience of being racially profiled by the police while skating. Hundreds of likes and comments in solidarity poured in, with other skaters sharing their own experiences being discriminated against. An hour or two later, the post disappeared. I've never seen the actual post.
A couple of minutes after, well, I think it was like about an hour or two, right? And it was just gone. And someone made a post asking why the moderator deleted it.
I'm not sure why my post
about being harassed by the police while skating was taken down, and honestly upsetting. This is real life. Girl, I'm so sick of hearing about people of color being harassed because they make ignorant people feel uncomfortable. I'm so sorry you have to deal with this, and it's an issue that should not be censored. We need to have spaces and conversations in the roller skating community, specifically considering the decades of policing of black skaters. Disappointed in the group for taking it down.
Well, one of the moderators or the admin says that she deleted it because it was too political.
Hey y'all, according to the group rules, no political posts are allowed. I realize this is a sensitive subject, but this group does not allow these posts. I encourage you to continue conversations on your own page or any or other groups geared towards these type of posts. Have a skate day. Indy Jamma Jones lost it all because this mod was talking out the side of her neck. But she should have let Jen handle her own fade. This reeks of unpopular office policy enforcer. Hey, you Planet Roller Skaters. I just jumped and wanted to hop on and address why some posts got deleted today. It is my understanding that a post was made today linking to a video showing police brutality. The post was removed because we want PRS and its platforms to remain safe for children. And it should be at a parent's discretion whether their child is exposed to violence in the truth of the world we live in. Are there even any children in this group? IDK, maybe we can reassess the goals of this page moving forward. Corporate speak. First, when everything drops, she tries to put everybody back under her spell. Mangekyo Sharingan activate! She attempts to use the Izanagi. You see they weaving the jutsus? Okay, he got the whole thing. He opened up the earthquake, but bro said, Uno reverse, Izanagi. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, all my homies back alive. Haha, ain't none of that happened, but look at him. Now he blind in one eye. In order to reverse history using the Izanagi, you have to sacrifice your Mangekyo. You ain't got a Mangekyo. Stop lying, it's crazy.
So people kind of called that out immediately, and they said, like, there are politics all in this group. You know, we have a lot of body positivity posts, rightly so. Have a lot of
posting the body positivity, posting LGBTQ.
There are a lot of posts about, you know, safely skating as a woman, you know, which would be considered like a feminist post because, you know, we get targeted by men for being women.
Body positivity posts, ooh wee.
Things like that. And when asked for clarification on that, the moderator actually just up and left the group.
Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway.
You know, like she was just gone. And she is an employee of Planet Roller Skate. So after the moderator left, people started making posts like, hey, like, do something! Can someone explain the rules? I was one of those people. So I made a post, and so did dozens of other people, saying, hey, can you guys explain this rule about no politics? Like, which politics are allowed? And I actually made a post as well asking about clarification of group rules. So I wasn't the only person who was blocked after that. Like, I was blocked from the group, my posts were removed, and it said it was removed because I broke a rule of being kind and courteous. So me asking this question for clarification. And so far from what I've seen, the only people who were removed from the group for asking these questions were black.
It was like the day Beyonce turned black. Dudes was like, what did she say? Skate Beyonce? Said what? One of the most amazing parts about being a roller skater is, in our culture, we are allowed to make mistakes. It is how we recover from our mistakes that shapes our history. After the incident, she went on one of the worst apology tours ever. I'm fighting for my... Statistically, it lasted from May of 2020 to September of 2020. Indy contends that in the beginning, she made an honest mistake.
She told Elle.com that as a founder of the PRS group, she takes full responsibility for its poor moderation. She feels like a complete idiot for having used the term adult to describe the original post content. It is a well-known in skating culture.
When desegregation began in the late 50s and early 60s, some roller rink owners did not take kindly to it. They decided to create themed nights specifically targeted towards African Americans. If black roller skaters made an appearance on other days of the week, they found themselves unwelcome.
Calling it adult content was a trip and a half. She remains embarrassed, sorry, and ashamed, she says.
After her initial statements, she planned a panel.
What kind of shot is that? Have you ever shot that shot?
So it was a bunch of black skaters from London. Some were fairly new. And then it was Pigeon and Indy. This was a Zoom call, by the way. It was like a Zoom call.
Oh, wow.
And then there was this other dude who was speaking on part of the LGBTQ community. So to me, it was very random, though. I was just like, who are these people?
It was very random.
And then the day before that they did that, Indy had called me on my phone like twice, and I just like stared at my phone, and I felt so weird. I was just like, no, like, girl, you messed up. And like, to me, it was like she's reaching out because I'm a person of color, and like she wants me to like tell her what to do. That's what I thought, because this is kind of like what happened with the Impala situation. Also, then the next day they did that Zoom call, and then apparently like the people that were on that call were not even notified that this was gonna go on YouTube. Like they thought they were just gonna have a conversation, and then they're like, no. So both of these videos, like this one and like the Moxie one, were like 2 hours, and it was just like the vibes were weird, and like Indy's face, where she was just like being like a berrinchuda, like she didn't want to be there, like she was just like pouty, and it looked weird, and people were not happy about it. So then, do you know what this girl did? She erased the video.
She erased the video in quick time.
People started to notice that they were talking for hours, but Indy never apologized for her actions or came out and said that, you know what, I am anti-racist and that's not okay. After this initial response, Indy goes radio silent.
So Indy has been choosing to stay silent about everything. She couldn't say sorry to the black community. She couldn't say sorry to all those people of color skaters that looked up to her. She just decided to run away. There was that whole Pigeon situation, and
talking about Pigeon,
and like Pigeon had said, like they're trying to contact her, all this stuff, and they can't get hold of her. Actually contacted Long Beach police to do a wellness check on it, because I was actually quite angry by this point, but at the same time I still wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I also didn't want anything bad to happen to her. You know, we want her to learn. We don't want her to, you know, the worst case scenario would be for her to completely turn her backs on us and just be extreme the other direction. We want to encourage growth and learning, and, you know, room to make mistakes. And at this point I still thought mostly what she did was a harmful and hurtful mistake.
A harmful and hurtful mistake.
But yeah, it came back to me that she was fine. Like, they did a wellness check and she'd just gone home. I don't know if she's hoping that time that's passed and people who weren't around at the time won't remember and will just take her word for it. But if you were around at the time, you will know that there were people putting their tenties out trying to contact Indy, and she was not replying. And so that's why we will believe, at least, why she got fired.
She talks about the kids. She talks about being involved in the business. She never says, and Pigeon doesn't feel this way.
What have you done?
After M abruptly announced that she would no longer be working with Wes due to failed compliance of requests and that she was fired from Planet Roller Skate, Wes quickly went under fire while thousands boycotted Planet Roller Skate entirely in their online store, now called Pigeon Skates. So Pigeon, you're lying. You didn't move on from Moxie, Pigeon.
Liar, liar, pants on fire, hanging from a telephone wire, squirming.
Much of what happened publicly on social media muddles the understanding of who owned what. Would M has reduced her role to employee. Oh, she said she was just a corner boy. West maintains that ownership of the online shop was a 50-50 joint business venture. albeit one with no legal contract in place.
So the skate world gave her 30 days. You got 30 days to apologize for real, or it's over. For realsies this time, Indy. Well, like anybody with their career on the line, Indy Jamma Jones decides to respond as slowly as possible.
Even India said herself, she was radio silent. I don't know why she'd wait so long. If she's got some demands, I'd like to apologize and get stuff sorted. Why is she waiting until a couple of days before the deadline? Like that should be your top priority. You have caused this hurt.
It had been a month since the Planet Roller Skate fallout. Indy hadn't made an additional apology, and all of the details were starting to marinate, and they just weren't adding up. Do you remember when I said that Indy Jamma Jones's career cooked like a frog in a pot? Well, this is the moment where she noticed the water was too hot. Karen the Carrot took everything to the next level. In order to put on the Planet Roller Skate show, Indy hired different skate influencers. These skate influencers would help her sell skates and create the Planet Roller Skate content. Well, Karen says that, I was putting in that work and Indy was not giving me my propers.
And she promised me promotion, like just standard stuff. But then she wouldn't post my stuff. She kept posting Dirty Deborah Harry, which she also made videos for her, which is a white woman with blonde hair, and she would keep posting Rebel, which she's a white woman. And I started feeling really like invalidated. I was just like, so is my work like not worth it? Like, do I suck? Like, can you give me some pointers? And she always lagged on texting me back. And that's when I just decided to talk to Pigeon only. And I asked her, and I was telling her how like I was feeling, and she like validated me. I know she keeps saying that she's going to say something publicly, but at this point, like, her word is worth nothing. She doesn't want it, and she would rather see her career crumble than to say that being racist is wrong. Like, how more racist can you be?
It really sounded like some hater stuff to me. I'm gonna be honest. Well, Karen drops all of this in the aftermath to the Planet Roller Skate situation. It is one of the most popular roller skating videos of all time.
But wait, there's more.
On July 7, 2020, Indy Jamma Jones released one of the worst YouTube tutorials of all time. It was a Logan Paul production. Well, she was missing one key element: timeliness. By waiting 30 days to respond to the PRS situation, she showed the entire skate world that it was not a priority. People began to notice that she would use language that would paint herself as a victim and a hero.
After the dust cleared in July, West posted a teary-eyed apology video. Instead of taking the time to understand why people were hurting and were upset, I saw my friend being called out and I reacted to protect her, Jones says in the video. Much of the community didn't seem moved by her apology, and in a follow-up video, Jones spoke directly to the critic. You judges of my character may no longer suggest that I am a racist.
That escalated quickly.
Let's look up the follow-up video. There is no record of any of this or any of Indy Jamma Jones's social media. Zero record.
This began a pattern. Indy would release an apology video or post. People would criticize that video or post for being insincere, and she would take it down.
Look at this post. What do you think the caption of this post is? I stand in solidarity with the black community. Why you on your hands? This seems insincere. So she's in the middle of the road. 1 foot in, 1 foot out, unstable, performative.
But wait, there's more.
Eventually, Indy just got fed up and stopped apologizing.
I feel like where the ego comes in, I think she sees the hurt she's done. She says, I said sorry. Like, I said sorry 1 time, then 2 times, and now I'm saying it a 3rd time. Now I'm getting a bit angry that I'm having to keep saying sorry. And it's like,
Trayvon, just go to the office.
What'd I do?
Just go to the office.
What'd I do?
Go, just go.
What'd I do?
But these are the people you hurt, and your apologies aren't good enough, and now you're turning it all to make it look like you're a victim.
After Planet Roller Skate Gate, all of Indy friends left one by one. People began to make public statements about how they were distancing themselves from the Planet Roller Skate brand. Queer Girl Straight Skates came out and said it. She felt uncomfortable with the way that the brand had handled this situation, and she didn't feel right being silent about the entire thing. So she had to stop being a part of Planet Roller Skate. When you go back and look at the timeline, there's an article that's released in May of 2020 that chronicles the whole story. From that moment on, generally, she just does Teen Move Skate reviews.
Planet Roller Skate fallout? There's a pattern. This is a legitimate video, but all of her videos past this point are advertisements.
I'm in a black void, trying to reach the news story.
Honest Rio roller script review advertisement.
Trying to click out of it, but the ad is following me.
World's coolest sustainable skate compound advertisement.
But then the arrow wasn't the arrow for the next slide. It was to take me for an ad for face cream.
Unboxing roller skates.
And that's not the arrow for the next slide. It's for another
advertisement. Amazon link. Use my code for Slay's detachable skates.
And that's how the cookie crumbled for Indy Jamma Jones. She went from the skater with the most fame to the skater that shall not be named. And it all started with one deleted comment. Well, if you like today's story, you're gonna love my next video. Rydell versus Vanilla. Which brand is best for you? So if today's video made you smile, drop a like. If you want to continue to follow the journey, you might as well subscribe. And if you have a question that you want me to answer in the future, drop it in the comments down below. And until next time, happy rolling, Boss Tweezy. Happy rolling, Boss Tweezy. Happy rolling, Boss Tweezy.